everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Follow me on social media. I have links in the description below. I just post my drawings. I do not do any politics, no hot takes, no nothing. Just my art. Today we are going to be looking at Detective Comics 573 and 574 from 1987. These are the last two issues of the Alan Davis run before he goes to Marvel to work on Excalibur. He does do one more issue that is part of Batman Year 2, which I will be covering the entire thing. Todd McFarlane does do the last three issues, and Alan Davis does the first one. But our villain will be the Mad Hatter. Here's this cover. I also have links in the description below to the DC fan page, wiki page, whatever you want to call it. And it's got like story synopsis and characters and all that kind of stuff. Real quick, just the little dot on the eyeballs is pretty cool. Alan Davis and Paul Neary always sign right after the little box down here. So, all right. One real quick, I just want to look. If you look at Batman's boot, sometimes they just make marks. It's kind of funny. Overall, when you look at a figure, you look at it and you kind of don't really see much until you start to look at some of the marks. Like this mark, like what is that for? But that's all right. But yeah, it's just weird where people choose to make marks and where not. So here we go, Gotham State Prison, and Mr. Tetch, of course, is the Mad Hatter. He's off to go see the warden, and he's asked if he's happy with the suit they give him. He says yes, but where's the hat? And he says hats have an unfortunate connotations for him, and he's like, oh, okay. I truly love this zipatone here that is in his face. I like it. So, he's got like a taxi or so. And he's like to take him. He's being paroled, which is funny. These they just keep getting paroled. He's like ask him where to go. He says somewhere to hang my hat, and he gets this. I thought you'd know better, Tetch. You can see by the silhouette that you kind of can see what's going on, and of course, and Batman and Robin are in the vehicle. So, and when they go, they leave. And so Batman's basically going to lecture him about doing the best, and he wants that hat. I say just let him have it, but hey, it's not like you can't buy hats anywhere. It's the funny thing is they don't want to give him a hat, but you can get a hat anywhere. Just walk into a store. And so Batman hopes that works, that the lecture that they gave him, about second chances and all that kind of stuff. See, he buys a paper and makes a hat. See, so I always said, just what's the point? I mean, I know what they're trying to do, but at the same time, I'm like, just give him a hat. He's gonna get a hat, and so he got a hat. 3 pages in, and he had a hat. So we get a sort of title page. The title page is like a second cover, so it's a throw kind of to olden times. So when you see this, you didn't miss something. This is just sort of how it goes. So our story will then just continue. So a week later, we got the bat signal. And Batman says, you called Commissioner? He says, the Mad Hatter. He's missed his weekly parole, and his phone's been disconnected. So, um, Robin, they said they had received this package here. It says to Batman. Robin says there's nothing there, and Batman tells him it was underneath. So, kind of tells Robin, you know, a thorough inspection of all evidence is the first rule. So, and so of course there's that message here. I've gone hatless, Batman, but not in the way you want. So, this officer comes in and they said it's the Mad Hatter. Batman says where, and they said at the Liars Club. And so, looks like Batman's gonna head there. He's robbing everybody, and the light goes out. You can see in the shadow Batman and Robin. I like this version of Robin, and I bet you that if this is the version of Robin that would have been in Batman, the regular title with Jim Starlin, Jason Todd wouldn't have been killed. This is Jason Todd Robin. This Robin is a little bit younger. However, Jim Starlin's version of Robin was more of a late teen, so a little bit more grown up, a little bit more mean, per se. So, if this version of Robin would have shown up, I guarantee you they wouldn't have killed him. But, you know, c'est la vie. So, unfortunately, after Mike W. Barr and Paul Neary left, the next group of writers really didn't put Robin. They didn't include Robin. It just became a Batman book. So the only Robin did not have a regular series during that time. So Robin would only show up in the Batman books. So when the meaner, more jerkish Robin started to make his way on the Jim Starlin Batman, you know, people were like, well, I don't like him. So then they ended up killing him. It was, by all intents and purposes, a cool story, but I just still feel that if this version of Robin would have showed up, they wouldn't have killed him. But I digress. So Batman's dispatching the Mad Hatter's men, or, you know, whatever, and so he puts on a different hat, throws the little laser beams, or causes the fire. So Batman and Robin have to deal with that while the Mad Hatter makes his escape. So Commissioner arrives. And so later that night, by the way, J is for Jason. So I like that lad. Such an old time. This is the mid 80s, and this Batman's still saying lad and things like that. That's pretty cool. He asked what he did with the newspaper, and he was trying to find, he says he was trying to find leads, so he cut out everything about the Mad Hatter. He says he appreciates the effort. I like how Bruce Wayne is wearing he's wearing his suit or a tie. You know, he's at home still wearing a tie, but puts on this other thing that's supposed, you know, this is something from the 50s. And I don't even know if people really did wear, or if it was just something that they made people believe. I can't believe people would wear, you know, their tie or whatever inside the home. So anyway, I lounge around in shorts and a t-shirt. So anyway, so they're heading to the Batcave. They're gonna go and look for the Mad Hatter, and so off they go. So Batman thinks that they're going to this hockey arena. So Batman deduces that the reason that he's going to attack the hockey arena. So real quick, and I just kind of went real quick. He says that he attacked the Liars Club because the liar is said to be a man talking through his hat. It's an old phrase. So of course, if you score 3 goals in one game, it's called a hat trick. So he believes that is his next target, which it was. Batman shows up, and throws this gas thing at them, and they're gonna go after him. So gotta go through here, then up here. So kind of some traps. I don't know how they had time to set them up, but hey, it's comic books. I do tend sometimes to overthink it, but then I sometimes go, what's the point of overthinking these? So here comes into this giant billiard. So again, they're back home. The Mad Hatter again had to escape, and they're gonna continue to find, a way to catch him. And Bruce's mom and dad, he's got a big painting of them or picture of them in his office. So he says that Alfred says he's got a call from the society editor of the Gotham Gazette. Oh, goodness gracious. I cannot speak today. Of course, Bruce has to talk very un-Batman-like because he has an image to maintain. And so he basically is going to tell them that he's going to run for council. Throws his hat into the political ring. So he's trying to catch the Mad Hatter with this. So, and basically he's it's a trap for the Mad Hatter. And so they're saying, the money could be better to be put to other use and this and that. And they're kind of arguing because he doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman, so he thinks he's dealing with some kind of rich boy. And so he grabs the thing, but it throws it out because Batman does not drink or smoke. He's a good, but he has to maintain appearances. So, and of course he's looking around. I like this part. If you, this looks like, oh my gosh, what is that called? A soul patch? That's what that looks like here. So there's all these hats waiting for councilmen. And so, and he realizes, that he didn't order any straw hats, so now he knows it's a trap. So they go to some utility closet and change. And when they go out, all the hats now are buzzing around. So they're remote controlled. And so from behind, Robin hits one of his stooges. Gordon's here shooting the other hat. Here comes the other cop shooting at the hats. But they cut like little saw blades on them. And so Batman's doing the best he can to try to dispatch or get rid of them. But there's more and more. Batman tries to evade them. Grabs the gun. He's going to try to shoot him, but the hats kind of go in there. And so the Mad Hatter's going to try to escape, but Robin's like, nope. And he's going to try and go. But he removed the hat, so you're going to have to follow the other way. So Mad Hatter's going to try to get away. And so he's going to use this little remote, which has the frequency, the radio frequency to control them. So he's going to use that to destroy that thing here, his little device. And he says the game's not over yet. And he says this isn't a game. It isn't for him. He, of course, shoots. Very important. So now that they caught him, he says, let's go home, Robin. And of course, Robin has been shot. So that's why I said, hey, remember the thing. So, and thus concludes our issue. But we are gonna do both issues here. So here's 574. Love this cover. Can't see Batman's face. And so this is Park Row, and they're saying, you know, at a time, in this case 25 years ago, this was one of the nicest, richest neighborhoods. But when the Waynes were killed, it no longer was. So the Waynes dying destroyed that neighborhood, and now it's become a bad place. But inside is a clinic that Leslie Tompkins, who it's a clinic for the poor that Bruce Wayne funds, because he does do money for more than just Batman. He does try to help. And one of the things is, so they're going to do something, but of course Batman shows up, and so they run away. There's no amount of money in the world to really help people if they're not willing to change. So allow me to get on my little soapbox. I believe wholeheartedly that to end homelessness, which you can, you don't get people houses. Okay? You eventually get to that, but you have to fix what the problem is, the addictions. You have to fix the mental illnesses. Otherwise, they're just going to end up in the street. If you give a drug addicted person money to go get some food, he's going to buy drugs. You have to treat the mental illness if you want to end homelessness. The problem is they think nowadays that giving a people a house will fix the problem, but it doesn't. So, ending my soapbox, going back into it. So, Batman yells for Leslie Tompkins, and she thought it was someone trying to break in to get the drugs, but it's Batman asking her to help Robin, who of course have been shot. So she asks him what happened, and she says that the Mad Hatter shot him, and it's his fault. So he asks, what can you do? And she asks, do you ever pray? And he says, no. Then you might start. So she's going to take him, and then Batman's just going to sit there because he is powerless to do anything. And so we're going to kind of go and do a little bit of a recap of his origin. So, of course, we have the famous pearls that he had his mom wear. So, as his origin has been updated, he asked her to wear the pearls. Of course, back in the 30s, people with money would wear pearls because going to the movies was like a big deal. It wasn't just something people do or had access to. You know, it was something. It was an event. So they should wear their pearls. But as movies became more accessible, it became they made it like he asked her to. So here Bruce Wayne confronted the person, and he throws the gun because he felt guilty as to everything that happened. So he wakes up, and or you know, he's brought back to reality, and says she's done all she can, and that's how he is. And you know, that he'll, if he gets through the night, then he'll probably survive. And then he says he'll make it. He's strong, he's a fighter. And then she's like, a fighter, is that all you can say? So now we're gonna get a quick recap of his origin here, how he took him in and all that kind of stuff. So a little Batman Year One. So why what he does is important and all that. So here's you know, just kind of going back and forth between his origin and all that kind of stuff. How he was mad at the world and vowed vengeance, and so he grabs the gun that the killer used. And so how she knows who he is, but by the way, I guess Leslie Tompkins knows Bruce Wayne is Batman. So how between her and Alfred, they tried to do the best they could. So, and you know, she thinks she failed as a role model, because even after all that, he became Batman. So, and you know, he tells her it's not her fault, but you know, this is the path he chose, essentially. So, but yeah, it's kind of cool. So her and Alfred are the two people that and so here he is, where he decided that he would make Bruce Wayne a different persona, where he would make, but inside he wanted to learn everything and make up, and how he became a better Batman by, you know, just how he learned. So I was going to answer something. The professor's shocked, and then he yawns because he can't. He has to keep up that image. So just a little back and forth about, you know, why he treats addicts, knowing that they'll go back. You know, that whole thing. You know, he does what he does, and she does what she does. You know. So I really do like Alan Davis's Batman. Feel shortchanged that we didn't get a longer run, but and you know, she's there for him, and then Robin wakes up, takes off his mask, and so we end with a nice kind of panel here. So anyway, the next time will be Batman Year 2. So we got one more issue of Alan Davis, like I said, and then 3 issues of Todd McFarlane, and we'll do that, all that in one. So like and subscribe, and thanks for listening.